So are you having a lush life these days?
Probably too lush for yeah. I'm having a lush life these days. Yes, I am. I'm by myself over Christmas. How lush could you be?
You have a new record coming out.
Yes, indeed. New solo record, and basically I finally got to the point where lush life is no longer a contest. It finally started to sound like music after me playing it for about 30 years. And so...
A contest between...
Me and the piano, I think? I'm not really sure. It's just like a contest between how can I shove the most music into it possible, which of course ends up being way less than it's not an athletic event. You need to get the event out of it and the music, and then the music just kind of flows through it. So that was the point. Once I got to that point, then... well, I really need to record this. So I thought about it. A couple of years ago, and it just sounded like a contest. So I needed to make it sound like music.
What clicked?
I think I was able to just let it go. You know what I mean? It wasn't going to be, because it is one of the coolest tunes, and you're sitting there trying to do one of the coolest renditions, and then you let go of. After you've played the coolest rendition about 100 times, you go, well, no, that's not really the coolest rendition. You just let it come out of the song. You understand the lyrics. One of my favorite lyrics is at the middle of the intro, and he goes like, and jazz. It's like after cocktails and jazz. So, really, it's important to kind of, support that lyric, kind of make the song, because it's not an Art Tatum note fest.
Yeah,
and it's more like 12 o'clock tales. So people drinking too early, drinking too much too early.
At what point in developing a piece like that do you let go of the previous versions that you're familiar with?
I let the song do it itself. On a previous record, I didn't really start playing this My Ship. I started playing it. Actually, did a performance with wow, I need to remember her name, Ernestine Anderson, and I couldn't believe how magnificent it was. And I kept trying to recapture what she did, and I couldn't make head or tails out of the song. So finally, I got serious about it and started playing the song. It took me about 6 weeks to get the song to sound like music. And I just had to, it's not a technical thing. You just let the song flow. I was able to recapture the way I felt when she was singing it and I was playing it with her. Of course, I was playing with a lovely trio.
Yeah. How do you do that?
You just keep doing it, because the song doesn't sound like music. I don't want to use any four-letter words here, but you just keep playing. I mean, I couldn't get it. It didn't sound like anything. You know what I mean? It didn't have any content. So you just play the fake book, and then you even memorize the melody, and it still doesn't sound like anything. And then you just keep playing it, and all of a sudden the song will unfold. It's just, yeah. I don't know.
Any originals on this album?
There's one.
Yeah.
Some reason I called it Morning, and now I don't remember whether it was because sadness or it was actually because I composed it in the morning.
M-O-R rather than M-O-U-R.
Oh, right, it's morning. Yeah, okay, so you're right. Well, that would explain it. No, it's not M-O-U-R.
Okay, fine.
Indeed, it's morning. Okay. But however, it is a kind of a sad piece, but that's what you get when you you communicate something that sounds sad and it makes people feel better. So it's not about mourning, it's about mourning. However, it does sound sad.
Well, that's what the blues does.
Yes, it is in fact. Yeah, it's not a blues tune, but it does that. It does that. Yeah. It's not like it's not inspired by the Billie Holiday song "Don't Explain." It actually is, I think. But I was able to kind of leave that. Now, see that song, "Don't Explain." Of course, it's not part of the project. "Don't Explain." Almost the very first time I played it, I got what the song was about out of it. It just was able to come out of it.
How does that go?
It's, that's your verse.
I see what you mean.
It just comes right out. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a little help from Michelangelo. She, I don't know what to say. How do you say this? She pretty much dusts the tune. It's like when she gets done singing, it's like, oh my God, you don't want to be in her shoes.
Yeah.
Except it didn't happen to her. It happened to Billy.
Right.
But yeah, she hits that thing pretty hard.
So why a solo record?
I just play so much solo that when you get to the point, it's kind of, I got to do it. You got to put it down because I work on it, and it's almost like I have to document it. That's how I started, and I ended up starting and getting about half of it done about a year ago, and then then my guy came by and dialed the piano in, and there was no excuse for not finishing the rest of it.
What do you mean dial the piano in?
He came and tuned it and tidied up, did some regulation.
I see.
It was like, oh my goodness, you got to record this guy.
Was there that much difference after you got it tuned?
I'm really lucky. I got somebody that's really good. Marshall Anderson. He's one of the best people on the West Coast, and it's pretty heavenly what happens. It's been way too long right now. It's not even close to being in tune, but. That's one of the things about calling him is like if I call him, then it's time to record because he just puts it into this place that's divine.
So you're still doing a lot of recording and mastering for other people?
Yeah. Working with a young lady, Julia Schlippert. We actually did. This is funny. I keep trying to figure out a way to get her more recognized because I think she's a terrific singer. All the guys that play with her love her. She really puts on a great performance. I don't want to compare her to Janis Joplin, but it's a little bit like that. She's like a rock, gospel, singer kind of thing, and she's very, very soulful. And I don't really know how to do this other than the avenues that I have, and we got 4,500 plays, maybe I think 50,000 plays on YouTube with the last thing we did. So we did a Evelyn King song, "Love Come Down," and we were actually seriously thinking about getting Evelyn King to do it again. But the problem is that we had to really change it because we're trying to make dance music out of this thing, and the tempos are pretty rigorous. And "Love Come Down" is really too slow. So it was my daughter's idea, why don't you do "Love Come Down"? Everybody likes that song. She listens to this music. And I'm going, yeah, well, "Love Come Down" is one of my favorite songs. I love that tune. And people love that song. It's just that if you do it like Evelyn King, it's too slow. Yeah. So we speeded it up. And we'll see what happens. I'm getting emails every day about how well it's doing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's only been we've only had it up there for about a week so far. And, so we did that, and in so doing, we're working on her project, which is far from done, which is different than the dance music. So get a little bit of juice with the dance music, and then maybe we'll attract some attention with her own music.
What's this I hear about you writing a book?
What? Me? Was I going to write a book?
Yeah, you told me you were going to write a book.
I was going to write a book?
Yes. Some sort of instructional book.
Oh, yeah, I really haven't explored that any further. I think it's probably more important to write a cookbook. Yeah, and I don't know, I'm kind of gotten past the point where I think that young people are going to make their own way anyways, but it does seem like I don't want to appear like I'm somebody that knows more than a whole lot of other people, so I'm not really sure how to approach the book. I thought I would write a book that would be a help, that would, but at this point I'm not really sure that it would be worth doing, Don't really even know if people had good advice, whether or not it would actually even help, because the world has changed so much since, I started out what I was doing. When I started playing, most of the joints were mob places. That's not the case. I mean, they're not even in Las Vegas anymore. They're not. It's not that. They're gone anyways. I mean, you can find where if you want to find the mob, you watch the History Channel.
Right.
And they literally were so vested in the entertainment industry, you couldn't really do anything without them.
Right.
From, what should I say, MCA Records?
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, the places that Louis Armstrong used to play were all that. The places that Duke Ellington played, it was that was you had to be in with the guys,
Yeah.
And you don't want to know my mom stories. I got great mom stories.
Sure we do.
No, you don't want to hear my mom stories now. You want to hear my mom story?
At least one.
Okay, so we're playing at this place in downtown Boston. I should leave the names out.
Yes.
And we had struggled with this little top 40 soul band. We had some interesting talent in this group. And this is a while ago, early 70s. And we were trying to get into this joint. And because the joint was handled by an agent, we wanted to get to the agent because we were tired of working in Rochester. We'd be driving to Portland, Maine, and Bangor, Maine, and we wanted to get gigs in town in Boston, so that at least when the car broke down, it wasn't the end of the world.
Right.
So anyway, we finally got a Sunday, and I can't remember if we were actually even paying for money, but we got a Sunday. We got in, and it was downtown Boston, and we were so happy to play this gig, and the fellow that. There was a father and a son, and the father helped us get the gig because his girlfriend was a huge fan of the band. And I knew her because she had a store that was across the street from where I used to live. Anyway, so we played the gig, and we're loading up. As we're loading up, I hope you can edit some of this crap out. Anyway, as we're loading up, the bass player comes running downstairs, he's crying. He says, "Oh my God, the truck is gone with all the drums and my bass. It's gone! Oh, what am I going to do?" So we woke up Dad, because it was the son that owned the joint. And Dad, I want to make sure that we don't tell anybody who these people are.
No.
Dad owned, it was a bank. he grew up with all these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what his relationship with the guys were, but anyway, so he knew all these guys. So anyway, we're crying on the phone. We call up the girlfriend. The girlfriend calls up dad. And so the following day, the truck with everything in it was at a certain place at noon. Everything.
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 Yes.
It's like it didn't happen. So, when
It's good to be connected.
well, it's good to be connected, and you sit there, you wonder about, because Godfather was just on TV.
Right.
And you look about the events that happened and why they're so circumstantial, and you realize that of course, there's going to be a horse head in what's-his-name's bed. Right. I mean, are you kidding? The guy showed him the horse. Where do you think the horse's head's going to be? And that's less circumstantial than the $600 worth of drums reappearing at noon in Chelsea at such and such an address. I mean, that was nothing. Plus, Boston would have been more tightly knit than. Well,
So if we should introduce somebody to one of the tunes on your new album, which one would you like it to be?
I would say probably the most favored is the. I'm horrible with names. Where or when? Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
A nice little rendition. That's one of the last things I recorded. Okay. Yeah, and it's.
Well, that will appear in a little player underneath this screen.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, and good luck with the record.
Yeah, I'm hoping that some people enjoy it.